As cleanup continues on our barrier islands, a big question we've been getting is when will the beaches be safe to visit again? A lot of that comes down to making sure the sand on the beaches is clean. And of course, all that sand that was pushed into streets and businesses gets safely cleared away as well. Our Angie Andrews is live for us in Sunset Beach this morning for some insight into how that process is going. And Angie, what everybody wants to know is, how does this cleaning process work?
Yeah, Roy, well, when you work your way up and down, really north, south doesn't matter. If you drive down this barrier island, you're going to see piles and piles of sand like this in most of the beach parking lots. And Governor Ron DeSantis was in Madeira Beach yesterday, just a couple of miles north from where we are right now. He said to date, just in Pinellas County alone, that officials have cleared 50,000 cubic yards of sand out of this area. But what's going to happen to that sand? How does it get back on our beaches? To answer that question, I'm joined live this morning by Jason Beisel with the Communications Department here with the City of Treasure Island to answer some of those questions. Now, Jason, I know you're tired. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a long week for you. Can you kind of describe to us where we are in this process of getting this sand back out on those beaches?
Well, first what we had to figure out how much volume of sand washed up, especially in the Sunset Beach neighborhood, because that was the hardest hit area of the city. So what we're doing now, we got contractors coming in. They have started moving in equipment already. That began last night. And so the process begins. So we first got to get that sand off the streets. And what they do is they split it up into three manageable piles: a pile of debris, a pile of unusable sand, and a pile of usable sand. And then it starts the cleaning process.
And now that cleaning process, we know something that's been a question we've gotten into our newsroom a lot. How is it that these officials know what's clean, know what's not, and know what's contaminated, and what can be put back on the beach?
Well, the sand they will use, they most likely will not use the sand that's at the bottom, because that sand has touched the ground and who knows what may be in that sand. So what they try to use is most of the sand that's in the top or in the middle. And then they'll put that in and go through the cleaning process, as we call it. And they'll be sorting the sand and making sure there's no objects in it, storm debris, glass, metal, any kind of chemicals or anything in it. They'll just observe it and screen it and make sure that it's ready to go back onto the beach. And that's why we're asking residents in that area. We know they're going through a lot of stuff. They have a lot on their mind, but not to put debris or trash or anything on top of those sand piles, because that would then contaminate the sand even more, and that'll make the process longer of trying to get that sand off the beach or out of that neighborhood or onto the beach.
Yeah, and that's completely understandable. And my last question for you, I know this is a process. I was out on those beaches the last couple of days myself. There are a lot of debris still out there. How is that going to get cleaned so that this process can work?
Well, we're having beach cleanups. We got a great beach ambassador program, Treasure Island Adopt a Beach. So she's been leading beach cleanups. They've already started on Sunset Beach, and so what they're doing is trying to get all the debris that's on that beach. And there's a lot of debris on Sunset Beach, and what beach is left. And so, because you cannot put the sand back on the beach until the beach is actually cleared off. So they're doing that. They're having another one today. They're having another one Saturday. But it's a process that we have to go through, and we know everybody's tired over there. We know people want to get their vehicles back on in there, but there's just so much sand we got to get off, and we just can't take it off the island. We've got to go through a process of getting it cleaned and back on the beach, because that's the quicker way of getting that neighborhood back to normal.
Awesome, Jason. Thank you so much for joining us live this morning. Coming out back here live, really important to note, too, that if you want to be a part of these beach cleanups, obviously a lot of hands are needed. You can contact Treasure Island Adopt a Beach in order to be a part of that process. As Jason said, those crews there are, as of last night, staged out here in different parts of the beach, getting ready to start that shifting and that cleaning process of that sand. So, of course, we will start to see that process of rebuilding our beaches here starting in the next coming days. Roy, back to you.
Yeah, it seems like a very complicated process to look through every grain there. Thanks, Angie.